We're live. We're live. Got some decent light. Decent light. What is up, everybody? What is up? I bet you no one comes in here. Oh, I'm sure somebody will come in here. I'm sure somebody's bored. Oh. See how peaceful it is. You guys want to see? Check it out. This place is cool. You got a walking trail. Again. Hear how peaceful that was, man. It was so nice. It's like a perfect evening or a perfect morning. Not have the APU running, no idling trucks. Dark. Anyways. How's it going, everybody? It is early, Provost. Said the guy who uploaded a video at 4 o'clock this morning. Of course, I guess he could have done that schedule-wise, right? Got the security cameras. Yeah. All right. It is a wonderful morning. You can do a Blair Witch Project, yeah. Let's do some shout outs here. The Hool, you are the first one in here. Keep changing your name. LOL, I don't sleep, says Provost. Little Bike Coach is in the house. Start running in the woods. I haven't ran anywhere in a long time. If you see me running in the woods, it's because there's a bear chasing me. We just made our delivery. I'm just waiting on my 10-hour break to be done. I was looking at the click and goes. Now, coming from a click and go system over at Schneider, I like the convenience of it, right? And one of our contractors that like trucking, man, he made good money with the click and go with Uber and like Schneider, you know. By the way, one of the little tricks if you use Uber is that reload section. Like, so say you look at a load and you look at the reload options, you get a bigger list if you actually go to the location, the destination. Look there. But I found some good loads out of Georgia. Good deal. So there's the problem with the click and goes is that there's 2 loads I could do out of here if I wanted to spend the day here in Springdale, which wouldn't be too hard because I have friends down here. And that's where I'm at. I'm basically Springdale, Arkansas. There's 2 loads, and I bid on one last night, and I think it was a reasonable number, especially if I'm going to sit around all day. Going right to Springfield, Missouri. And You know, usually every Memorial Day we go visit my dad's grave, but I think it's supposed to rain all day today in Missouri, in Springfield area. So you know, might as well make some money, right? Well, naturally they declined my offer, or no, they countered it at the same amount as it was before. So obviously, you know, no one's in the office. It's just an automated thing. I get that. But then I looked this morning, and they've actually lowered the price. Now, I suppose I could click on the book it now price, and if it'd make it worth it or not. What's my time worth? It kind of goes to that. But it went down. So obviously somebody's adjusting something, right? So I just watched a video of yours from 10 years ago. P.S. You should do a metal cover of Flock of Seagulls. I should. Pale Rider would definitely like that. I am up early, that ninja. Somebody's got to work on this holiday weekend, right? Now, this particular load that I just delivered, another Click and Go had the same exact load as I booked, but it picked up Saturday night, delivered Sunday morning. Price. Next thing you know, that load's late. And that guy literally got here an hour after I did. Of course, they unloaded him. I didn't even try. It's like I wanted to be able to spend the night here. So, and some of these Click and Goes are screwing up. See, that's the thing. A lot of people worry about these Click and Goes taking over the broker system, right? Taking over the live call-in. But every customer that I've dealt with are not happy with these Click and Go brokers. So if I own brokerage, I could probably capitalize on that fact, right? Am I thinking right, Dr. Jekyll? Right? What's traffic been like over the holiday weekend? John, not too bad. I mean, I pretty much dealt with Oklahoma City. That's the only major city I've dealt with. Guys, I haven't done a whole lot of miles. I've been out for 2 weekends in a row, but I haven't done a whole lot of miles. Been doing a lot of city, a lot of shorties, a lot of short loads. And what that's made, my net profit per day, and also my net profit per mile has been up the roof, because when I do that, my overall revenue is down, of course. But if I'm going to run for, you know, so many X amount of dollars per day, I'm going to do it with the least amount of miles as possible. And that's the kind of prices I've been seeing. I've been seeing like, well, you can either run X amount of miles per day. Like you can either run more miles or less miles for the same amount per day. It doesn't matter. Just upload a video now. You can't wait for them to take over. Well, Provost, here's my point, though. If they keep screwing things up, they're not going to take anything over. A ton of people. And the shipper I talked to last week, they said that this one particular broker was screwing it up, so now they're using the services of this other one. You know, I've been here since 8 o'clock last night, and I get a phone call at 3 a.m. from a live person that my app was open. Why can't they see me that I'm here? They don't have a check call feature. You know, it just automatically detects. Well, sometimes their address is off from where the dock is, so that it doesn't pick up. So, you know. But if the click and goes want to take over, you got to be able to barter. Be able to, like the one load that I would have clicked on last night, the price actually went down. They wouldn't barter with me because it's an automated service that they don't want to move. Now, the logic might be, well, somebody was trying to book a load on a Sunday night for a Tuesday morning after a holiday weekend is desperate. There's that leverage, right? There's your sell, right? I get, you know. Unfortunately, I don't have any materials from the brokerage that I could work with. I don't have a business card. I don't have any kind of. I don't even have any information for the brokerage that Like Trucking is associated with. Now, and then I talk to the brokerage that has that current freight. Like, hey man, I'm your guy. I do these all the time for you. Let's negotiate something. Well, thank you for your interest in blah, 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 blah. We will get to you, but, you know. And then these strung together loads. They don't know how to schedule stuff. They're taking advantage of no hours of service. And they're not offering... See, here's the thing, guys. They're not offering a rate that makes it a COVID relief load. You guys, hurricane rules, now hours of service is out the window, so you got no leverage there. So I sit here on a holiday weekend trying to work, trying to get something done, but my time is worth something. And that's where Schneider had the advantage over Landstar. I guarantee you that Schneider has a drop and hook load somewhere around here that I can pick up today, deliver it tomorrow. Or hell, even deliver it to. I guarantee it. One of you Schneider guys, look at the load board for Springdale, Arkansas. I'm sure there's something sitting there right there in Lowell at the drop lot I can take for a couple $100. And I just spilled my coffee a little bit. I can keep rolling, making money. And if the click and goes can't offer that kind of convenience, then what good are they? Especially if they go down in price. If you can't cover a load because of your price, why the hell would you lower it? And it's that lack of human interaction. That's the problem. And I guarantee you that my rep from one of the click and goes is not even working today. Unless he's working from home. And we might just try that. They'll just rethink that after it costs them more money, right? Brokers are falling. You are absolutely right. Now, logic that if you're a smaller brokerage, if you want to survive, you got to find the fine balance of price and service. If demand is going up, you have leverage. And as brokers fail, I think someone who has a brokerage could get in there and do some selling, right? Am I looking at this wrong? Is there something wrong with me? Am I thinking too logically? Is that the problem? Or do I not know my shit? Am I just like, Steve, you're a dumbass? Shut the hell up. You don't know what you're talking about. Restart the video. One. Well, one, there's a little red dot just pushing backwards. You're good to go. My Mexican Californian cigar smoking Schneider day cabber. It's good to see you. It's good to see you here. That ninja, no comment. What, that I'm a dumbass, that ninja? That's fine. I've been called worse. Pre-coffee thinking is hard. Trucker Dean Show. When I was driving a truck, I drove for an owner-op. He had a contract load. We lost the load to a guy out of Canada that would haul it for cheap, and then had to do the C.H. Robinson load board. That was not fun. They don't care about service. It's all about the money. I believe that is the world that we live in, Provost. I 100% agree with that. And that's where my logic fails me, right? We're a service-oriented industry, yet we just want the cheapest truck at the cheapest rate, cheapest broker. Don't care if we're screwing up pickup numbers or, the load's 24 hours late. And I almost called the Click and Go that had that, because I noticed that load. I could have worked straight through Saturday. And since it was a COVID relief load, I could have gone straight up here and been up here a day early and went home a day early. Because obviously I'm not going to find anything on a Sunday morning, on a holiday weekend. Unless the Click and Go has something and, and they didn't. And if they are, they're not budging on the price. Customer may not know why. No, I have no knowledge of this conversation. All right, then, Ninja. That's cool. But I have been called a dumbass a few times, so that's okay. Now, it's a business, and sometimes the business is frustrating. I feel like I want to do more, but I don't have the tools to do more. I feel like I need to expand my knowledge. At Schneider, it was easy. I talked to some of these ICs at Schneider and board and their rates and everything. But the guys that I know that are still succeeding. And a little positive note, all the Schneider guys I've been talking to, the trailer pool is gearing up for probably a surge in freight over there. So that's good news on the corporate level. I talked to somebody else on the corporate level of another shipping situation, and he said that he was seeing some positive signs on the higher corporate levels of the economy starting to bounce back a little bit. Well, not bounce back, but not slowing down. The problem is that there's someone out there who'll pull it for cheap. Yeah. Now, but here's the thing, though. If the cheap load picked up today, I'd be on it, because rate per mile is actually pretty good. Open window on pickup and delivery time. And it's literally 11 miles deadhead from here, and it delivers right where I live. And I plan on taking the truck home to get some maintenance done. Which, you know, is my screw up. I should have done that the second week I was home. I should have done that, but I didn't. But again, when rates hit rock bottom, everything's shut down. There's a bunch of fear and uncertainty out there. It creates a stress where I want to hang on to every penny that I had, not knowing if I can go back to work. But once I saw a little bit of light of the tunnel, I took off. And, you know, I don't know. Good morning, Dirty Broke. Schneider is still the best for my current situation. Rates are somewhat steady. And that's what you get over at Schneider, you know, is you get that consistency. And consistency is, guys, look, consistency is one of the most underrated things in any situation. You think the weightlifter that lifts his head, you think that happened overnight? You think that happened overnight? No. It's a steady, slow roll of consistency of working out in the gym every single day. When you deal with a market like the spot market where it's feast or famine, trying to get that consistency is a challenge. Now I've acquired it at times, but the brokers that have this freight that I keep relying on keep losing it, or I lose the person. You know, when you have big brokerages like TQL and C.H. Robinson and Uber laying off people, firing people, now I'm back to square one. And I think that's annoying. I think that's what's most annoying is how many times do I got to start from square one in the 2.5 years I've been out here? No, I'm just venting. YouTube's a good venting tool. But we're enjoying our coffee, waiting for my 10-hour break to be up, which is 8 minutes ago. So, should I stay and see if I can't find anything in the areas? If these click and goes want to barter a little bit? If anybody's ever going to come in the office? Because they're the only ones displaying freight. The DAT board's got nothing. Or just go home. Go be with my family. Go broke. I'm in Michigan and they extended the new date to June 12th for quarantine, so maybe I wonder Michigan will be open. John, I just before I clicked on this live feed, Reuters had put out an ad or put out a news article on YouTube showing everybody having fun for Memorial Day weekend, and it was disgusting, the fear mongering that they were doing. It was absolutely disgusting. And 2 months ago I said that states would say, oh, well, in 2 weeks things will open. In 2 weeks things will open. And the blue states have been doing that. Michigan has been doing that. Oh, no, let's extend it another 2 weeks. And people are fed up. People are no longer afraid of getting sick. They're fed up. They're tired of being broke. They're tired of not being able to go to work. And they're tired of not being able to go outside and enjoy the fresh air. Americans are getting tired of being holed up. And the ones that the fear have the most to fear or have fear, they're the ones that are really kind of like clamping down and calling all the people, you know. And so what Reuters did is it made it look like these people were being careless, to the point that they had one person going, oh, I'll just leave it up to God, you know, when they asked them if they were worried about getting sick. So, okay, so now we're looking like brainless religious nuts that are out there, you know, and trying to enjoy their lives again. And again, the answer's somewhere in the middle. There's still a risk of being sick. But you can't sit inside the house afraid for 6 more months. Not when anxiety and depression are through the roof. I mean, Americans already have a problem with anxiety and depression. The system's broken. What was it, Dave Mustaine? There's no way I'll be the first in line, right? Dave Mustaine said that. He sells. If you're a metalhead, that's the best Megadeth song right there. I am gonna go home probably. There's always another week to catch up. That is true. How far from home are you? That's a good question. Let's see here. How far is it to Springfield, Missouri from here? About 100 miles. Suicide is sky high right now, too. Josh, I believe that. Absolutely. Because think about it, there are so many things that are out of our control, and that creates anxiety, depression. And it takes kind of a clear state of mind to accept that. You know, remain calm, do what you can, be cautious. But there's a lot of people that have worked really hard for the things that they have, and they're watching it slowly wither away. And that's tough, man. That's tough. I've been rock bottom. I've been there. And I think that if I was at rock bottom, when I was at rock bottom, it was about 20 years ago. And I've been suicidal a couple of times in my life. There's a reason why 20 years ago I didn't have an interest in guns. That's the honest truth. I didn't want to get into the gun world until I knew I was mentally stable enough to handle the situation. Because there was definitely a couple points in my life that if there was an easy way, I would have taken it. Cough, cough, where's my check? New mindset out there. The states that are closed are blue and heavily in debt. It is a stick-up job for the federal government to bail them out. It's no longer about COVID. It's about the institution of socialism here, Adam. Adam, I agree with that. But there's so many agendas out there. There's so many, like, and you know, and the press feeds off that. And it would be the most divided this country's ever. But it's not the election this time. You know, they're pretty much writing Biden off as like he doesn't have a snowball's chance of hell. And the Democrats know that. But they're still managing to divide the country. See, that's the thing. That division is what's going to take us down. You know, everybody's all like, oh, if the truckers would stand together, da 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 da. Well, that's never going to happen. You know why? Because there's a constant. It's human nature that we all separate ourselves. You know, separatism is a natural occurring thing. Tribes go to war all the time, right? Melting pots don't work. There's always division, always. And right now, it is super easy with social media to divide us. Therefore, we can never accomplish anything. Yeah, things are always so. I know that. That's the thing, Dr. Jekyll. I know that. I know that. Yeah. And I saw an opportunity. It frustrated me because, I don't know. Pale Rider TV, coffee. Life is unsure. You being a driver, you see accidents every day, but they don't shut down the interstate or stop selling cars, right? So you're looking Thursday, Friday, picking up. I'm not looking for anything right now. I'm looking for probably just going home and getting some work done on the truck. It's pretty much what I'm doing. And the APU. The APU is desperate for some attention. If I don't take care of it, it's going to fail like the other one. It's way overdue for an oil change. It's making a noise I'm not too happy with, and the HVAC breaker keeps tripping, which is going to suck in the summertime. It sucks when I have to wake up a couple of times a night to return the AC on. Head home, that close, head home. I will. My 10-hour break is... My 10-hour break up yet? Yeah, my 10-hour break is up. I told the wife I'd probably be home by noon. And hopefully we'll be able to visit my dad's grave for Memorial Day. That's a tradition that we always do. My dad's grave is over there in Ozark, Missouri. $100 miles to the house, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, I know, Provost. I just wanted to vent a little bit because I would have stayed out and done one more load if that opportunity was there. So, but we'll do this live feed for a little bit longer, and then I'll head home. By the way, that last video I uploaded, it's promoting my Zello channel. I really don't have... I only got a couple of moderators in there, and I just ask that everybody be respectful and not attack each other. That's kind of not what we're about. Put bells on your beard, says Virgo Life. But the things that trouble me is the division in the country, the division in our industry, and the lack of understanding of how business works. I don't do Zello, says Provost. Head home, that close, head home. Yeah, as soon as I finish this coffee, we'll be out of here. Control through chaos. Yeah. Review this week. I want to write down a few questions, and then we'll coordinate it with Pale Rider. Of course, Pale Rider's got to be parked. And those of you guys don't know, Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde Trucking and OD podcast. He's the guy that I was promoting earlier this week, but he changed his name. I think he has a lot of good insight that a lot of drivers could benefit from. And I wanted to create a platform, and Pale Rider's platform on StreamYard I think is perfect. And he's got a pretty good... And I think we'll conduct an interview. There'll be the three of us. And I think it'll be pretty cool. And look for that hopefully this week. I'm not sure when. We got to coordinate the times. And if you're a driver or a broker, he'll have some good insight that could help a lot of us improve our business. Let's talk to my big brother, not to listen to idiots arguing. We were having a really good discussion in the Snorlord channel yesterday, Provost. We were having a good discussion about a lot of financial stuff. The wife, what's in the name, was the best way to describe the wife. Exit. Bitch. So. I had my radiator explode in Texas between Dallas and El Paso, 2 a.m. That was a long night. Yeah, John, that would suck. I've been having a couple of incidences where my low radiator fluid, my low coolant sensor was going off, and I'm not sure, so I opened the hood up and it's full. So I have a feeling that sensor's going to go out, and I think the way PACCAR is, we're like, well, that little sensor, yeah, we got to put a whole new reservoir on there because, we need that money. So I just hope it's not a bigger problem. In fact, before I take off out of here, I'll check my fluids and make sure we're good. And then this oil change, I'm going to get an oil sample, see how we're looking there. And if things aren't looking good, who knows what will happen. Because I've heard right now it's tough as hell to get a truck load. So keep YouTube names simple and easy to remember if you want lots of people to subscribe and good content, of course. Yep. That sensor fails regularly. Yeah, Josh, I think Pale Rider just had that sensor fail. Roscoe, Jim's best truck, that sensor failed. In fact, we had to drive the Joplin Convoy of Hope, or Convoy at GBATS a couple of years ago, with that sensor going ding, 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 and that's what it's starting to do here. If we're to get a new truck, what would you get? That is a good question. If I was to get a new truck, John, that is a good question. That is a hard question to answer. It really is. It absolutely would not be international. And it absolutely would not be a Peterbilt. Because whatever truck I get is going to be the last one. Right? And I like this truck. I really don't want to replace it, right? But if it's not cost effective to keep it, then it's got to go. I can go the W9 route and get the last truck in my retirement. I can do that, which, that's common. I know several people that have done that. But I don't know if I'd like it. I don't know if I'd like driving it. I get another 680, but deal with the same issues, Or I've been hanging out in Provost's Volvo, and I looked at, ironically, I was at the Volvo dealership. I looked at 3 trucks. I looked at the Mac, I looked at the 760, and I looked at the 860. But the 860 wasn't spec good. But there were a lot of incentives. They really want to sell those trucks, but You know, I have a friend that tried to get a loan for $80,000 for a truck, and they wanted him to show a lot of money in the bank. And that's the problem. I don't have a lot of money in the bank. Easy ice cream truck. You know what, little Viking coach? Saying screw this and go to a food truck. Check your hoses real good. I had to replace that sensor too. It wasn't too expensive. Ponzi, appreciate that. Ponzi, it's good to see you in here, sir. You know what I'd really like to get? I would like to get an older truck that doesn't have the DPF system. There's a dealership there in Stratford, Missouri called Quality Truck Sales. And it just so happens I know a guy that's in business with the owner on another business. The guy has a friend of mine that I've known for 30 years. 30 years is in business with the beautiful trucks out there. And that might be the route to go. But getting a big loan for how effective is that, right? 350 hot shot trailer, food trailer. There you go. Yeah, but 350s, dude. Have you priced a F350? Man, a Ford F350 costs more than this thing did when I bought this one. They had a 350 at the Ozark Empire Fair last year. I went and looked at it. And I about had a heart attack when I saw the price tag. It's like, are you kidding me? And I know a person that has her own authority that just switched to a hot shot. And the problem at all. So to spend $80,000 on a truck on a world. Is ice cream keto? If you make it keto, heavy whipping cream, monk fruit sugar, and if you want chocolate, use cocoa powder. Shake it up, put it in the freezer, good to go. I have 3 F350s for the race team. They're not cheap. Absolutely. And they really don't get much better fuel mileage than what these big trucks can get. At least the new ones, right? You know, I tell you what, man, you know, you watch Ratman Road, and that 450's got, man, that thing's like more sophisticated than most spacecraft. That thing's got all kinds of bells and whistles. Pale Rider. Pale Rider's anti-Ford. Can you believe that? I would get one out of the junkyard and refurbish, Fonzie. I would love to get an old school cab over and just drive around the country just to truck shows. That's what I want to do. We can't make any money doing that. Pale Rider is a Chevy guy, if you guys haven't guessed. And I'm still friends with them. Can you believe that? Morning, that's what I want to do. Hey, what's up? Hino makes good medium duty trucks. If you want a hot shot, Hino is a part of Toyota. I like driving big trucks though. I really do. But running the short haul stuff, I haven't been doing much driving, just a lot. You guys should see the sunrise. I'll show the sunrise here in a little bit. But other truck James Best, I hope you're happy. I'm doing the early morning live feed. I did it just for you, sir. I did it just for you. This is not for anybody else but you, other truck James Best. It's funny, we go to GBAT, which is the Guilty by Association Truck Show. It's held in Joplin every 2 years. It used to be annual. And barring any unforeseen COVID world delays, should be happening this year. There's always cab overs there that I want, you know, actually have for sale signs on them, but I can't even manage this truck, let alone have a second one, right? Look at Provost going golfing. You go golfing at, well, I guess it is 7 a.m. Goodbye, Provost. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll be heading home here in a second. Because I'm giving up. I'm giving up the fight. Go put the truck in the shop and lick the wounds and try again. I'm down for 2 weekends in a row, so I guess that's my limit. Keep stacking and buying autonomous truck, Northern. Yeah, Ponzi. There are some flaws to that system. Did you guys know that the auto truck, it's starting to rain. Did you guys know that the auto truck that Uber had, it was funny, we ran into those guys at Gats. Was it 2017, I believe? Only one of those trucks actually was functional. I think they've like cut down on that fleet. I think autonomous trucks are a way to milk investors of their money on a promise that this can be done. And the reality is that you know, if they really were on the verge of taking all of us drivers out, I think you would hear more about it. But that's the problem, is that this industry has so many flaws that autonomous trucks are just going to be another aspect that doesn't get handled right. So for myself, P567 is good. In fact, I like ProStar, the best time to golf, early morning, good morning. That's true. I guess that's right, Jesse. Good morning, Jesse. Good to see you, sir. Aren't there ways to game the AI on the apps? Yeah, little Viking coach, but if there's a trick, I haven't figured it out. So, like a thief in the night, Orion. Like a thief in the night. Grubhub and Uber are both on the edge of collapse. And how ironic is that? When you would think that their business would be through the roof at this point, because everybody's at home, right? I don't know, there's a lot of basics of economics I don't understand, but and guys, I know that holidays are slow. It's a miracle that I found the load that brought me here, to be honest with you. And that's the risk I took. I did not book the load I took Friday. I did not book that till I had this one in the bag. And it just, I don't know. I'm trying to work out here. I'm trying to work. Yeah, there's so much debt. It's crazy. Yep. It's some of these companies inflate themselves. They get all these investors. They get everybody all excited. I mean, how many people are on the waiting list for Tesla trucks that aren't going to get delivery? They already burned through all the investors' money to gain market share without showing profit. Milk them now and don't worry about the future, right? Take the money and go home. Seems like that's what a lot of investment groups look. When rates spiked in 2018, that's exactly what a lot of these groups did. These investment groups invested in trucking companies. They inflated them, and then when the market went sour, they destroyed them. Destroyed them. And of course, if you can't see barely in front of your face, people think, oh, these trucking companies left and right are going out of business. Well, there's a reason, and it wasn't necessarily just the market. It was because their investors didn't know what the hell they were doing. And I'm seeing that with some of these click and go apps. These investors don't know what the hell they're doing. And that's kind of what started this whole video was these click and goes can't provide good service. They can't provide decent rates that people will want to use them. And they go by the wayside. Get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, Jocko. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go home, put this truck in the shop, and hit a shooting range. That's what I'm going to do. Because the ranges are open, I believe. I could be wrong. But if they are, we're going. At the end of the day, you'll be all right. I wouldn't even sweat it. I'm not sweating it. I'm just kind of like venting. Other trucker James Best, I'm using YouTube to vent. And you can definitely relate to that. Yeah, I'm going to get me a Tesla truck. I have yet to see a Tesla truck on the road. Now, I know they exist. I've seen them. I mean, online, but I haven't seen them like personally. Look at what Buffett did with the airline stock, right? Is there a shop open today? Yep, absolutely. MHC Kenworth in Springfield, Missouri. They are 24/7, 365. I love mentioning on here free therapy. Yep. Orion, you silly. Some folks think the Fed is going to buy up everything, need about 97 trillion. Hell, you go squeeze some. Yeah, go squeeze some lead. Yep. Yeah, we'll give this a few more minutes and then start my pre-chip and put this thing in gear and go. I'm pretty blessed though, guys. I really am. The SBA loan's been a topic of discussion. And the reality of the SBA loan to me is that I'm indifferent. If you take it, cool. If you don't take it, no sweat off my back because I don't care. I really don't. There's too many people judging other people on how they do business, and I think that's counterintuitive on things that don't affect you. If some driver takes an SBA loan, how does it affect my business? Now, I say that griping about the brokers and how they're handling their business, but that actually does affect me. It mystifies me more than frustrates me. It just like, I'm missing something here. But There's bigger things to worry about. Elon Musk, modern day Howard Hughes, he will wind up living in a hotel in Vegas. I agree with you. I don't think I could see you in a freight shaker. Nah, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right, John. I'm kind of partial to Kenworth. I really am. I really am. And I'm out of coffee. Damn it. That is way overrated. My opinion. Little Coach says James did a 45-minute rant on Taco Bell on 2 different channels. that is the beauty of James Best. You gotta love him. We gotta teach them young Taco Bell rules. Where are they launching them satellites from? Houston. I got a friend of mine that works for the company that is supplying the batteries for they're sending some spacecraft to an asteroid. James can get on a roll. He does, man. He's you know, I believe it's a holiday, and James has, I think James ought to go live after I'm done. Give me something to listen to on my hour and a half ride home. Why can't they make one battery for a truck instead of 4? I don't know. I think to answer that question, you have to understand the science of battery making. I mean, have you seen those big batteries that they use for forklifts? Or those powered pallet jacks? That thing would be huge. Elon Musk putting like 20,000 satellites in orbit, I heard. They want to go gold mining on those asteroids, trillions of dollars. Well, if the economy resets to a gold standard, that might be the way to go. I mean, maybe Elon Musk is a genius. Hey, let's go mine outside of the country. They don't make anything worth anything anymore. Amen, Mr. Best. Amen. There's not a truer statement than that. See, it's all by design. So, like these new trucks, they got lots of luxuries. They make you feel warm and fuzzy when you're inside them. You got all the bells and whistles. But the system is designed for this truck to only go 500,000 miles. You need to trade it in. And then, if not, you're going to pay out the yin yang for repairs and maintenance, to where you're forced, if you want to stay in this business, to buy a truck, because it's just going to keep coming and coming and coming, right? And that's why if I decide to buy another truck, I would be looking at maybe a classic truck, because they're made better. They're a better investment. They retain their value a little bit better, because they aren't a part of that system for the most part. Blue Horseshoe loves silver. I have no idea what that means. Did you hear about that company owner in Georgia that took a SBA loan and spent it on those cars, and Joe really didn't have employees working for the company? Orion, I heard something about that. And that's the thing. Look, here's something that we were talking about in Zello. A lot of these people that are taking these SBA loans, these one truck operations, and here's something that you have to consider, have never seen in their bank account that high of a check amount. This is unprecedented in history because SBA loans are incredibly tough to get on in normal circumstances, but to have one easily given out in the, because the COVID world is unprecedented. So you're going to get a lot of people that are going to have $25,000 to $100,000 infused in the bank, and if you aren't responsible with it, if you aren't careful with it, if you can't be able to show how you've allocated that money, you're going to hear more and more stories about like that guy that Orion was just talking about. And they're going to create a job where these people will audit these people with these SBA loans. And you're going to have a lot of people that are going to get, $100,000 put in their bank account, and they're not going to know how to manage that money. You have this great opportunity in front of you, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to squander that opportunity. So I would be very careful with those. There are several space mining companies. I didn't even know that existed. He took 2 million facts, like from other trucker James Best. He got 6. I've yet to receive the email how much I would get, but if I get anything, I mean, I got the 1,000 grant, but that's about it. And I'm sitting there trying to think, well, what if I got 50? What if I got 50K? What, how would I allocate that? Because you can't pay off equipment. You can't pay for repairs and maintenance, which is what it would be. I would want it as a maintenance account, really, to be honest with you. Or to be able to, like, if I want to get a new truck loan and I can show that money in the bank, hey, do you have 25K in the bank? Absolutely. Here you go. But, taking on more debt just doesn't seem feasible. And you know why? Because my mind can't comprehend on how to get out of the rut that I'm in. And I don't know if a SBA loan would help me. It would help me financially, I guess, but it would also stress me out as well. Because a 30-year note, I don't plan on doing this in 30 years. I really don't. So, and it's because of my lack of understanding, I guess. And I suggest that anybody who gets the SBA loan and gets a large number, talk to your accountant. Talk to your accountant and make sure that the rules are in place, that you understand them on how you allocate that money to your business. That's my only suggestion. If I took on an SBA loan, but you can pay credit cards, bonus. So like we were talking about that, like I can take that, let's say I put 50,000 in my bank account from the SBA loan, right? And I pay off credit card. Then I go and buy tires with said credit card. Pay off that credit card. Put my truck payment on a credit card. Now I make payments on the credit card. It seems like a lot of shuffling. And I think that's really, that's the way to do business now, right? Is to shuffle the money. All these investment groups, all they're doing is shuffling money. But if you shuffle it wrong, does that come back and haunt you? if I get an SBA loan, is my debt to income ratio too high? Does that help or hurt my business credit? There's too many questions. And because I haven't really been approved for anything, I haven't gone seeking the answers. All I know is that it's a low percentage interest or low interest loan, and I'm not 100% sure on the terms. And I imagine that if the opportunity presents itself, I would look at the terms and see if it was worth doing, see if it would help me. Hooker cigars and tomahawk ribeyes. Oh, and a new axe and a new Roland. your amp. There's a new amp called Spark that's supposed to be connected to apps too. I thought about looking into that for the truck. All depends on who you is. Guess what? We ain't in the club. I agree with that. SBA loan is from the best business credit is the best business credit you can get. Yeah, it's and again, I have a lack of understanding, right? And so, how many of these people are going to get these SBA loans that, number one, never seen that amount of money before in their lives, and number two, or educate themselves to make sure they know what they can do with that, or even what to do with that. I think it'd be kind of interesting to have multiple trailers. If I had multiple trailers, that would give me a little bit of leverage with the brokers that I use, because there are a lot of these loads that would be one a day, could be two a day that I do. If I'm doing two of these loads a day, man, I am styling and profiling, making some money. Lost 35K shuffling last week, but hopefully it's in a more secure position now. So, but guess what, guys? I don't judge people that do or don't take SBA loan. I don't judge people that took stimulus. I don't judge people that didn't take the whatever. It's like, unless your business directly affects me, I don't care. I'm more focused on the bigger picture, what I need to do for myself, and trying to learn from the people that have more knowledge as much as I possibly can. And that's the only way to combat what we're dealing with today. That's the only way. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So, but guys, I believe it's time to go home. GNC Family Trucking. Chucky, good morning. Go home and visit my dad. That's what I need to do. So I'll put this on duty. Pre-trip. Done. Okay. And what's interesting is that I run into drivers all the time that have been in this business for 20, 30 years, and it's amazing how little they understand. And you got people that I know that have been only out here 2 or 3 or 4 years that understand quite a bit. So knowledge is definitely power. If you wanna compete with the big boys, you got to think like the big boys, and you got to know all the tricks of the trade like the big boys, right? Go home and reorganize, Steve. Good to see you, bro. Ponzi, I need to stop in Rockwall and visit you sometime. I really do. Very rarely am I on 30 on that area of town, but I don't think I have your number anymore. I think I tried your number that I had and it was gone, but But we need to hang out a minute. You know what I mean? You know, buy one of them cutting boards off you. Buy one of those crosses off you. I think my wife would like that. Right? When are you going to drive again, Ponzi? It's a little bike coach. Buy property for truck parking. If you buy right, it won't be a depreciating asset. Little bike coach, I had that idea. Did not have the capital or the knowledge to do it. And there's a guy out in Stratford, Missouri, Bob Parkin. He did exactly that. He bought a plot of land right off of I-44, and here's the trick with that. You buy a plot of land, okay? And then you get one of these small carriers that want to drop 10 or 12 trailers. Like, let's say that I get an SBA loan and I want to buy 5 trailers with that SBA loan, right? And so now I have a little bit of leverage. How am I going to store them, right? So I contact Bob's Parking, who's being really cool with the COVID world. You know, he's not price gouging, and he's being very generous. You know, with people I know that are looking to park their trucks, right? And I'm gonna need a place for those 5 trailers, right? This is a perfect opportunity. And you know, and I remember I was talking to Brian about this a year ago, and somebody went and did it. And you know, if they're making money, I hope they're making money. But you know, I can't imagine, again, lack of knowledge, but I can't imagine that a gate, fence, some lights, and a gravel parking lot is too expensive, right? Your name is getting bigger, not smaller. GNC, you missed everything. Chucky, you missed all of it. All of it. All right, guys, it's time for me to go home. My wife's probably watching this going, what the hell's wrong with you? Go home. That's right. But because of my lack of knowledge, buying 5 trailers seems kind of pointless. And like 3 other people got that parking lot idea. So there's opportunity, guys. An open mind will help you see that. That's it. How can you, everybody's looking at how, you know, the flaws of the industry or the flaws of COVID world, right? But there's opportunity out here, and the ones that survive this are the ones that seize the opportunities. The trick is getting there, right? My nephew in Shreveport has an MBA degree, but still went bankrupt 2 times. A little bit of knowledge in investing is more dangerous than no knowledge. Yeah, I hear you. Well, the problem with dirt lots, Dean Show, is no one ain't gonna buy your parking lot spot if they get stuck in the mud. So a couple of grand worth of gravel is worth something, right? Wish I could open a truck stop. There's a perfect opportunity there in Stratford for a truck stop. Right next to a truck wash, right next to McDonald's. 25-minute pre-trip. Yeah, I am on the clock. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Thanks for letting me vent. Don't get discouraged. You know, mine's a parachute. It only works if it's open. I love that idea, Dr. Jekyll. I love that parking lot food trailer. You just gave me an idea. Guys, take it easy. See you.